Hello, welcome to my webinar on CRM, Contact Relationship Management. And today I'm going to show you how it really will help you grow your business in 2017 or any other year, really, to be honest. So I'm going to start with an introduction. I'm going to tell you very quickly who I am, who Blake Consultants are, and we're going to think about CRM systems, how they've come about and in the modern world, how a CRM fits in a business, who needs a CRM, what is Capsule CRM, my favourite at the moment, and how does a Capsule CRM help businesses reduce costs and increase revenue? We're going to have a look at Capsule, and we're going to see how a CRM could fit into your business, and then we're going to have time, hopefully, there's a lot to cover, but hopefully we'll have some time for some questions and for the summary. So please do use the question panel on your screen to ask questions as we go through, or save them to the end, or do email me afterwards as well if you have something that's very specific to your own business or a question about how you want to grow your business. So just want to check here that you can see my screen, that the sharing of it is working fine. So if you could just pop over to the question box again and just say, yes, I can see your screen, then that would be great. Yep, I've got some yeses coming through. Brilliant. And so everybody can see my screen. Let's just wait a few minutes just to see that everybody can see it. Yep, okay. Great, brilliant. So we're good to move on. I just want to keep checking that. If you do have a problem with bandwidth, then maybe switch off some Wi-Fi devices in your own house. GoToWebinar does take up a lot of broadband width, but hopefully we won't have a problem with that today. So who are Blake Consultants? Well, I started Blake Consultants in 2010, and I wanted to help other businesses grow. And I wanted to work out, I wanted to help other business owners work out what they need to do differently and help them implement the changes to grow their own businesses. And I have clients in the B2B space, the B2C space, and in a number of different industries. Now, I do have favourite tools and techniques, and for those of you that joined me on last week's webinar when I went through some of these tools and techniques, then great to have you back here today. But my favourite tools and techniques are about goals and avatars, who your ideal client is, Capsule CRM as an enabler, MailChimp as a brilliant email vehicle, Xero, a great accounting system, and I love social media too. So it's about joining all those things together so that they give us synergy within our companies and in our businesses. Regardless of the size of our businesses, if we can make all those things work together, then we are investing in our business, and it will pay dividends in time. Maybe not immediately, but it will pay dividends. So when we think of CRM, actually we think of customer relationship management. Typically, it has been customer relationship management. And when we think of customer relationship management, then it's actually an approach to managing a company's interaction with current and potential future customers. And that's what it's been in the past. But in those days, or in the past, if you like, legacy system, it's often very clunky. It could be an office put on office-based PCs or on servers. It was often run by the sales and marketing departments. And thankfully, the cloud has changed all of that. So a CRM in today's world, I think of as contact relationship management. And when we think of it as contact relationship management, we realize the whole business can be looked after and organized on one of these systems. So we can actually manage our contacts. And when I say contacts, I mean potential customers, potential clients, existing clients, previous clients, as well as suppliers, networking contacts, friends and family even. If we can have them all in one space, then it saves an enormous amount of time. And we can also manage our pipelines, and we can manage our client deliverable work, so actually what we're producing for our clients. Now, one of my lovely clients, I've just done a case study with her, and through streamlining her internal processes, which were historically managed on spreadsheets, and putting all of these processes, so the client deliverable work, the potential client-to-client lead conversion process, all of that is on her CRM. And her staff has doubled from 3 to 6, and they have had a 40% increase in net profit in 1 year by fully utilising the CRM that I designed and implemented for her. So these things are possible. It's completely possible to do. So contact relationship management is a competitive space. Now that's good because it means that we have lots of choice. It also means that providers are keeping costs relatively low. Capsule is free, or you can have the professional version, which you can use to integrate with other systems. And if you have over 250 contacts, then you go for the professional. But it's £9.60 a month. So in the bigger scheme of things, it's very, very little. There's no tie-in to Capsule. Some of the systems there are. With Capsule, there isn't a tie-in. So you can export your data, you can stop and start. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but it is possible to downgrade to the free version, then upgrade again to the professional version. But there's no tie-in, so you don't have to think that this is, you will want to embrace it and have it in your business, but it's nice to know that you have the ability to come out if you want to. There's no sort of 2 or 3 year tie-in to this system. Capsule also has, all CRM systems also have multiple integrations with other systems, and that is so incredibly powerful. The support is very, very good these days for all of these systems, and because it's cloud-based, it's backed up by the providers and it's accessible. We can access it from our mobile phones, from iPads, from laptops, from being on the go. We can access it from all over, which is such a powerful thing, isn't it, in this day and age? So again, Caroline Varlan had researched lots of CRMs before she chose Capsule, and these are the direct quote from her. So I particularly like that I could categorize my contacts and keep on top of my client and supplier relationships to manage my pipeline and keep on top of my client work all in one package. How powerful is that? So why do businesses need CRM? A contact relationship management software is one of the most valuable value-add systems that any business of any size can implement. This is for startups. This is for existing businesses. When it's designed with an understanding of where a business is and where it wants to go, then it will help increase net profit because it will reduce costs and it will increase revenue. Now, Forbes took a study that suggests that a company with a fully utilized CRM will increase sales by 29%, and as we've already seen, one of my clients has increased her net profit by 40%. So how do you make a success of a CRM? Well, it's like anything in this world, isn't it? You have to go through a period of, not quite pain, but you have to go through a period of development, investment of time and energy. And without the grit, there is no pearl. So if you invest the time in creating a good system, then you will get the benefit out of it. And an organization, a business, to my mind, is really a living entity. If you invest time and energy in it, then it will grow, and it will, that time and energy will pay dividends. So, you know, when you're a startup, we're starting on the left-hand side of my logo, which is a tree with just 2 cogs, and then we're adding some more systems to it. We're growing it, but we're making sure that all those systems work well together, and we build our businesses up, we get them, we grow them, and then we end up with a more complicated business and one that has different systems that work together. But by doing that, we have a larger business and we have the ability to take our business even further. So think of a CRM as your very own colleague system to help you with being more organized, being more productive, and it gives you the ability to, it frees you up to spend more time doing the things that you want to do rather than that you have to do. So it minimizes the time that you spend on doing things that you don't want to do. But when you think, if you had a new colleague or a new assistant, you wouldn't just you know, bring them into your business or ask them to do something without explaining, without training them. And that's what a CRM, you know, that's the analogy here. Let's invest time setting up a CRM in a way that reflects our business, and then it will help us run our business. So for those of you that were with me on last week's webinar, what we did, we looked at vision and goals and avatars and how they all fitted in together, and then how a CRM fitted in with that, as well as websites and accounting software and pipeline and email marketing and social media. So we're going to look at part of that today. Now, a business needs to have a clear vision. From a clear vision, we get our goals. From our goals, we get our avatar. It all feeds from one into the other. And if we can get a synergy in that, then the whole business is starting to flow a lot more easily and a lot more constructively, a lot more with a much more ability to grow, and it's not such a painful growth. It's a much smoother transition. So an avatar is a depiction of an ideal client, and you need to know who your ideal client is in business, because if you don't, then you're having a very scattergun approach to marketing. By having an idea of who your ideal client is and naming them as an avatar, then it gives you the ability to send marketing messages that resonate with that ideal client, and then you've got a much better chance of that potential client becoming an actual client. So for those of you who don't have an avatar, I have written a blog and I have a step-by-step guide to creating your own avatar. So I will send that out after the webinar. And it's a very useful process to go through. And even if you have already gone through this process, then it's a useful thing to do as your business grows. It's a useful thing to do every so often to make sure that you're still talking to your ideal client. So this is going to be a complicated slide, so bear with me, but I want to show you how CRM fits within the whole flow of information within your business. So we're starting at the bottom with vision. Vision feeds into goals, and there's more information about goals on my previous webinar, but goals feed in. Goals can be supported by a vision board, which is an excellent tool, and then they feed into your avatar. Now, when you know who your avatar is, that can feed into your CRM. Now, if we, for example, know that our ideal client is a person who's aged between 25 and 35 or between 50 and 60, then and female or male or whatever, then we know that we have to capture that information in our CRM. So we would design and build a CRM that gave us the ability to capture the age of the person that we're talking to, or the sex of the person, or the location, or their interests. If we don't know who our avatar is, if we don't know who our ideal client is, we can't build that into our CRM, and our CRM just becomes something that sloshes around with lots of information rather than the information being usable. So Capsule is my CRM of choices, but it's an enabler. Think of it as an enabler helping us do what we want to do. So when you know who your avatar is, then you can start thinking about your marketing, and you can start using Hootsuite, for example, to send out marketing messages. You can send marketing messages out on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Now, all of those messages are encouraging people to communicate with us and contact us, and so we capture that conversation in our CRM. And then when we have that information, we can start sending direct marketing out through email marketing, and we can use MailChimp. Free version is very good, so you can send that out. And when we have that, we're encouraging people through that email marketing to come to our website. We can capture people's contact information from our website and feed that through to our CRM. Now, we can encourage people from the CRM and the website to purchase from us. We can keep on top of the pipeline, and we can keep on top of customer financial information as well as other information. And all of that leads to an increase in sales, which leads to an increase in profit. And we can capture that in a system such as Xero, which integrates beautifully with Capsule. Then we can actually redirect that profit back to bigger and more ambitious goals for the following year. So that's how it all fits in together, and there's lots of information there to take on board. It is a complicated diagram, but I just wanted to show the flow of information. If you want more, if you're interested in that part of it and you want to see a little bit more detail about each one of those components, then do pop over and see my webinar from last Thursday, I think, Friday. And you will be able to see how to create a vision, how to create goals, how we can make our goals achievable, and how it all fits in with the avatar, etc. So I'm just going to touch on that, and it's just to show how Capsule or a CRM needs to be the center of all of that information. So what is Capsule CRM? Well, it's a cloud-based contact relationship management system. It's UK based. It was launched in 2009 by a company called Zestia, who are based in Manchester. And it's the perfect CRM for individuals or small or medium-sized businesses, or for teams within larger enterprises. And typically the number of users fall into two different groups, either groups of 1 to 20 or users of over 100, and there are hundreds of thousands of users worldwide. I've been recommending and using Capsule myself, but also recommending to my clients for the last 5 or 6 years, and all of my clients have been incredibly happy with it. So how does Capsule reduce costs? By keeping you and your team on top of daily tasks and actions, then it saves you time. Therefore, it reduces time to do something. By enabling your business to send targeted communication to a group of contacts, then you're not scattergunning, you're not wasting time, so reducing costs. But it keeps all the information and history in one place for you and your team, so it saves time looking for emails, files, notes, tasks, tracks, open and closed opportunities, so your pipeline, and client deliverables, so it keeps on top of your client work. And it reduces costs by converting leads into sales with a consistent and agreed approach. So it's not different every time. You're not reinventing the wheel every single time. So it reduces the amount of investment of time needed in converting each lead. Reduces the amount of time needed to create client work. So when you have a consistent and agreed process and then prompts in place, then actually the time invested into that same quality client work is reduced. So it reduces costs again. It saves you time. It increases revenue by helping your team keep on top of daily tasks and actions. Now, something shocking, like I can't remember the figure, I think it was something like 50-60% of people, when they go marketing, networking, do not follow up. Now that's just after you're going out, spending the time networking, so follow up. So come out of your networking meeting, get the business card, stick it into Capsule by using your phone, and perhaps you know that you're going to be quiet in a few days' time, so you set up a task to remind yourself to follow up with the person that you just met, and then you free up headspace. You've put it into your system, you know it's going to remind you to do something, so then you can forget about it and get on to the next thing. So it helps you follow up. It encourages your existing clients along your product staircase, because you can dice and slice the information that you have about your existing clients, and you can encourage them to buy more from you. And it enables your business to send targeted communication to a segment of your contacts. By sending targeted communication, then you actually do really increase that probability of it being read and therefore acted upon. It also increases revenue by enabling an increased probability of converting leads into sales through the consistent and agreed approach. So you take a step back, you think, how am I, in a perfect world, in the best possible world, how am I going to encourage that lead to convert to becoming a client? And then when you actually have a lead come in, then you can go through the process. It's flexible, you know, it's not rigid, you don't have to stick to it, it's not set in stone, because everybody is an individual, but it saves you having to just reinvent the wheel every single time. So the amount of time it takes to convert a lead to a client is reduced. And it gives you the ability to have a client work, again, that is consistent through prompts and processes that are put in place on the system, on Capsule. And then by having that excellent quality client work, then it does encourage ongoing relationships with your clients and referrals from your clients to other people. So powerful. And I'm going to pop over now to to Capsule and show you how it looks and what we can do in Capsule. So does anybody have any questions at the moment? No? Okay, so bear with me. I'm just going to flick over. Right, so I've gone straight into Capsule here. There is a login screen, etc. But for the sake of the webinar, I have gone straight in there. So I do apologise if there's a bit of a shock of a change of screen there. But this is Capsule. Now, there's a fair amount of information in there because it is a demonstration system. But let's just take each bit of the screen slowly so that I can show you what you will be able to see on the system. Now, this is the layout here you can't change. You can change the color, for example, at the top, but you can't change the layout. So this will be the same on any Capsule system. So on the left-hand side, we have tasks. This is like your to-do list. This is all of the tasks either relating to opportunities, so pipeline, or to your client work, so your actual to cases, or to actually staying in contact with people. So you can see here that they have all, there's 7 that are overdue, and what it keeps any overdue tasks on this list. And it also has the tasks that are due in the next 7 days. Now, it doesn't list all tasks that are due in infinitum, it's just the next 7 days. Otherwise, it would just be absolutely huge. And then on the right-hand side, the 2/3 of the screen on the right-hand side here, we have a chronological record of stuff that's gone on the system. So this can be a completion of a task, or it can be a file that has been attached, or perhaps a note here that has been written, or it can be an email that's been uploaded. We can upload emails straight into Capsule, or it can be a new contact that's been added. If we have a contact form on our website, then that feeds straight into Capsule. Capsule will create a new record for us, and it will even contact us. It will send us an email to say somebody new has been added to Capsule, and then it will set up a task reminding you to populate that record with as much information as possible. So it's a very, very, very useful tool. And this is here on the right, 2/3 on the right-hand side is where we see that chronological list of things that have happened on the system. Then at the top in the pink toolbar, we have the house icon. So that's the dashboard. That's where we are now. Then we have head and shoulders. So that's people and organizations. We have calendar and tasks. We have the graph, which is the sales pipeline. And then we have the suitcase, and that's the cases, and that's where we can keep track on client work. And then at the top here, we have just some either cases or opportunities or contacts that we have touched on most recently. Then we have the plus sign, and we can add a person or an organization or an opportunity or case at this point. We can search, and it searches on contacts, opportunities, cases, or notes and emails. And then here we have, on the right-hand side of the screen, by our name, we have our own preferences. This is where we can link it in with social media. And we have the cog for settings, and that's where we can have a look at the our own account and all the sort of the stuff that's behind the scenes that's so important when we're setting up a system, but that's how you get to it. So I'm going to concentrate on how it can add value to your business. So we're going to pop back and we're going to look at these 3 main areas: the people and organizations, that's the data bank part of it, the sales pipeline part of it, so that's our opportunities, what we're trying to convert into an actual sale, and cases, which are client delivery work. And I'm not going to touch too much on calendar and tasks. I'm just going to show you how that looks. It's absolutely brilliant. We can add tasks in automatically here, and it does link in with different calendars. I use a Google Calendar, and my tasks come into that calendar. You can use the Capsule calendar if you want to, but you can subscribe to the iCalendar feed, so it's feeding another calendar if you wish. So people and organizations, this is the data bank part of Capsule. And what we have here is a list of people and businesses, all fictitious because of this demonstration, in the system that I have here. So what we're going to do is just going to click on, we're going to click on the Bayside Club. And what we're starting to see now is a different screen. Now we can see this is an organization because it's a building here rather than a person. And we can see that there's a little S there, so we have Bayside Club connected to a Skype account. And then below that we have these tags, client active or client potential. And we can have multiple tags for each record, and that gives us the ability to dice and slice. So we can just quickly edit those tags by removing, or we can add from a list of tags that we've set up ourselves. And then below that we have some contact details, and we have an email address, so we can email directly out from Capsule. And then we have some addresses here as well. And I want to know what industry this business was in, and it's an agency. And we can also, this organization doesn't have any people associated with it, but what we can do is go to an account such as Blake Consultants, and we can see here, it looks very similar, but there's a person associated with it, Julia Blake. So we're going to click on that and we go through to the person that's hanging off of the organization. And in this case, we have social media connected. So we have the LinkedIn profile for Julia Blake, and we have a Skype account, and we can have Twitter, Facebook, etc. So we can see here that multiple tags applied to this person, email address, and we have an about field filled in. That's static, so we can edit that, and that will remain on that part of the screen. And we can also have extra information that we're prompted to capture, and that I've set up here as a client. For Client Active, I've set up and said that we are a product silver client. So we can add extra layers of information to our own capture. And this is how we make it bespoke. This is how we make it very personal for our own businesses. So just moving over to the middle part of the screen, this is where we see a chronological list of activity that's happened for this person. So you can see here that a task was completed by Julia Blake 2 hours ago, and it was to tick off receipts. So not only can we use Capsule to keep information about clients, potential clients, suppliers, we can also use it to help us run our own businesses. So we could have a case as a marketing plan. We could remind ourselves to tick off our own receipts on our own expenses claim, etc. So it's very versatile. So this is the history part, and we can have files. We can attach files if we want to. And then we can look at any opportunities that we have set up for Julia Blake, and we can look at any cases, so any product deliveries, any projects that are going on for Julia Blake. Above that though, I just want to show you, we've got 4 open cases, which is the same as down here. So when was the last contact? Today was the last contact, and what's the pipeline value for this client? It's 136,000. And if we were connected with 0, then we would have another area pop up here, which would be the actual amount that had been invoiced via 0, and that would pop up here, and we could click on that. That's hyperlinked, and we can go straight through to the account in 0. We can also even create invoices from Capsule that are sent out through 0, but the two are connected beautifully. The integration is great. Then on the right hand side of the screen over here, we have the tasks that are due for this person. Now this is the ticking off of receipts is a recurring task, but say I wanted to actually add another task, and it's so simple. So we're going to add a task. Now we're just going to pretend that this is something that we've met networking. So for simplicity, we're just going to put follow up. Now I know that I'm going to be pretty quiet next Tuesday morning, hypothetically, so we're going to stick that in for next Tuesday, and we're going to say, well, 11 o'clock's a great time. I'm going to add a category to that, so I'm going to call this person. If we're in a team of people, we can assign that to somebody else, and then we click on save. Now we have a new task that has been set up here, and that task will appear also on the dashboard. But on Tuesday the 17th of January, we will receive an email to our inbox, and it will tell us to follow up on the task for Julia Blake, and you can click through from your inbox straight through to Capsule. So a really powerful tool, and it frees up headspace all the time. Absolutely perfect. So there's loads more to tell you on that, but I want to also show you pipeline and cases. So we're going to pop over. I'm so enthusiastic about this system that I could just talk for hours, but I'm conscious that I do need to keep it shorter than hours. So I'm going to pop over to pipeline and show you how we can actually use Capsule to keep an eye on our cash flow. So we click on that, and we have a different screen here. And this is the pipeline dashboard. So on the left-hand side, we actually have a graph, and this is showing us the pipeline value, which is based on the probability of converting a lead to a sale, versus the total value, which is based on 100% of all of our leads actually converting to actual sales. And then we see below, we have by month our cash flow. So we can look at that and we can see it, right, in June 2017, there's nothing in there, and I know that my normal lead conversion time is 2 or 3 months, so I need to start talking to people in March, so that I get some potential sales into my cash flow for June. Otherwise, I'm in trouble for that month. So we can start to see what is going on, but we can also see what activities need to be completed to convert those leads into sales. And that's what we have here. We have upcoming tasks for all opportunities. So let's just click on one of those. So we have an opportunity called Product D for a company called Blake Consultants. So we're going to click on that. Now this is the opportunity screen. Okay, so the name of the opportunity is Product D and the company is Blake Consultants. The milestone that we're at is initial inquiry, and we can change that, and that's where we get the probability, and we're going to say that they actually are interested. But most important as far as process is concerned, as far as tasks and helping you and save you time, is that you can set up a track that's bespoke to your business that prompts you to do one thing after another. So you have an initial conversation, and then you set up a track so that you want to send a follow-up email, send a proposal, follow up on the proposal, and this is totally bespokeable for any business. So for owner-managed, perhaps a therapy business, perhaps you want to follow up on a conversation. To a business that's offering business services, you want to follow up on a proposal. All of this can be set up, and it's totally bespokeable for your own business. And so this one, for example, we want to do something in 5 days' time after the last action. So we won't be prompted to do the to mark the milestone as signed and returned until we have had the follow-up proposal. So once we click on that to say that's happened, then 5 days later we'll be reminded to set up a case. So it's difficult to show because every business is different, but basically you have a series of tasks that you follow, and they can be broad or as detailed as you want, and once you've completed one, then Capsule will remind you to complete the next one, so you don't have to think. So that for one client you need to send a proposal, another client you need to follow up on the proposal. Capsule will remind you to do that. So that is how we can set up tasks and tracks around an opportunity. So I just want to show you how easy that is to set up an opportunity. So we're going to click back to Julia Blake, and we're literally going to go to the down-facing arrow, which is where we edit things, and we're going to add an opportunity. And then we have a new screen that we can stick all the details in about this new opportunity. And we're going to just call it Opportunity ABC, expected value, say, £5,000. That can be fixed, or it can be per week, per month, per quarter, per year. We're going to say it was just an initial inquiry at the moment, so there's 10% probability of it converting, and the expected close date we can add. Then we press save, and now we have a new opportunity, and the overall dashboard for opportunities will have increased. So that is a whistle-stop tour of pipeline and opportunities in Capsule. Now, the third main area I just wanted to touch on is that of cases, and this is where we can start keeping on top of our client deliverable work. So to save you reinventing the wheel every single time, we can use this to keep to keep on top of our client work. So for an owner-managed therapy business, for example, you could actually keep notes around your clients, conversations that you've had, or treatments that you've given. For a services business, one that's offering IT support or anything like that, then we can set up the cases in such a way that we capture when phone calls have been made and received, and items resolved, and questions and queries raised. So we can keep all of that in a case for a client. And let me just show you how quickly and easy. Let me show you quickly how easy that is. So we're going back to Julia Blake, and we're adding a case. And we can also use this for our own work. So I'm going to call this marketing strategy, and we can add a description, we can add tags so we can search on it, and we can add the track if we wanted to, or we don't have to. And that's again where we're prompted to follow one activity with another activity, and Capsule reminds us to do that. And then we press save. And then we can go back to cases dashboard, and we can see It shows us all of the cases that we've got in the pipeline. It shows us all of the opportunities that we're currently working on. And in the contact section, we can see all of the people that we have in our system. Now, the other thing I want to quickly show you is how it integrates so beautifully with MailChimp. So a good CRM has the ability to dice and slice the information that's in it and make it usable. And this is why it's so important to set it up properly with categories and tag people with relevant information. So say we wanted to create a list of all of our active clients. We can add other conditions there. So we could actually put in the type, and then we want to just have people appear, show results. And we have 3 people, 3 active people in this demonstration database. And then what we do is we go over to the right-hand side. We can export that list to a CSV or an Excel file, or we can click on email. Now we can email directly from Capsule, or we can push that list of individuals out to MailChimp, where we have hypothetically already created a campaign, already created a recipient list. We're pushing out that list of 3 people to MailChimp, and MailChimp then feeds the information back to Capsule as to whether that person has opened or clicked through on the email that's been sent from Capsule, from MailChimp, sorry. Also at this point, we could tag all of those 3 people with a different tag, or we could write a note, so one note which can be applied to all of that list, so saving an enormous amount of time. Now, that is a whistle-stop tour of Capsule. There's so much more that it can do. We can add emails to contacts, to pipeline, to opportunities, to cases. We can create new records by forwarding an email, and if there's no record already in Capsule, then it can create a new record for us so that we don't have to do that by taking the information out of the email. There's so much that it can do, but conscious of time and conscious of not bombarding you all with too much. So just going to pop back to the presentation. So in summary, Capsule, or an efficient, well-designed and implemented contact relationship management system, can help businesses of any size increase their net profit by increasing revenue, as we've seen, and by reducing costs, as we've also seen. So how can I help you? Well, I offer one-to-one consultancy, and I can set up a system with you, for you. I offer courses as well, where a group of delegates will set up a CRM for their own business, but supported by myself. And then there's personal email support throughout the 3-week course. And I've got a course coming up starting at the end of January to help businesses set up their own CRM. If you just want to set up your own system, then if you do it through my affiliate scheme, then I give you an hour's free training and consultancy. And I offer support packages. And I've got a business clinic coming up this Friday and next Friday, offering free consultancy on a one-to-one basis for a 20-minute slot. So do email me if you want to have a conversation about how I can help you. So this is the link to Capsule, which gives you the ability to sign up through my own affiliate scheme. And when you do sign up, then just let me know and we can arrange time to have an hour's training, which is all complimentary. So does anybody have any questions? I'm sure there's probably lots of things. You probably need to process stuff that I've said. If you'd like to ask a question now, and it's appropriate for everybody to be part of that, then great, brilliant, that would be fantastic. Or if you'd like to email me, then that's also fine. You can very welcome, and I'd pop over and find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and I'm on Facebook, and I'm also on YouTube as well. And there's another presentation on YouTube about the benefits of Capsule CRM as well. So I'll send that out. But does anybody have any questions? Let me just check. I need to click on my screen. Oh, my screen's popping all over the place now, which is very annoying. Not quite sure why that's not playing ball. So I do apologize. Here we go. Let's have a look. No questions here. Oh, thank you. Right. How now? Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. How much is zero per month? Okay, good question. Depends on how many invoices you send out. There is if you send out 0 to 5 invoices, then I think it's in the late teens every month. If you send out more than 5, then it's about £26 a month, which includes VAT. How much time cost to set up? A great question there from Louise, thank you. Depends on the complexity of your business. What I normally do is set up the data bank part of Capsule, and then we move on to the opportunities, and then we move on to the cases in the time that's relevant and appropriate, and the speed that's relevant and appropriate for the client. Everybody embraces these things in at a different speed. So it's something that I would discuss directly with yourself, Louise, and to see how complex your own business is, and also where your existing contacts are. Some people have contacts in spreadsheets, on Outlook, everywhere, and we can download contacts from LinkedIn, and we can categorize them and then bring them into Capsule. So there's all different levels and different complexities there. So that's a question that's very much, the answer is very much tailored to the individual business. So I'll set up a time to have a chat with you about that. And then, does it integrate with iShopping Cart as well as, I don't know, I haven't heard of that one, but certainly we can look into that. And no questions here, thank you for the presentation. You're very welcome. So if that is all on the questions, then thank you so much for watching and being part of this with me. I will send out the avatar step-by-step guide so that people can work through that if they want to. And as I said, I've got business clinics this Friday and next Friday, so do drop me an email and book a slot, and then we can have a good chat about your own business. And any other questions, please do just email. That'd be great to hear from you. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.